What you made of the game? What you talked to the team about after?
Yeah, I think coming off of our last game against Minnesota, although we lost 3-0, we didn't think that the score indicated the way that we played, but it was really important to make sure that we were playing a 60-minute game. I know that sounds really cliche, but every bad pass, every missed opportunity could end up in the back of your net, so it was really important to make sure that we were piecing that together for today.
I mean, Marie-Philippe Poulin gets a hat trick, not too bad, but what did you see with just the full line around her, and can you talk about how you think your forwards are coming together?
Yeah, definitely. We've had a different lineup every single game so far. Was really pleased with the combinations that we had tonight. Had to make a couple of in-game line changes, which happens regularly, but really happy with what Kat Dubois brought to that line. We put her on the power play, scored a goal, and then ended up finishing the game with the Poulin line, and we really liked the physicality and just the relentlessness on the puck that she brought.
And we saw Elaine Truly in net. I think it seems like the league's everyone's trying to feel everything out and whatnot, but what do you see going forward with the goaltending situation, do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've got great goaltenders. As you saw tonight, we've obviously got Anne-Renee Desbiens, Elaine Truly, and Marlene Bossino, who we're comfortable with all three. It's nice. There's not many games in the season, so you do have to be kind of selective with where you go. But we feel like we're in a good spot with our goaltending right now, but nothing is fully sorted yet.
How much did you like your pushback tonight? They score, a couple minutes later, you bounce back each time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've seen just how quickly goals go back and forth in this league, and for us it was important to be resilient and not get down when we get scored on, especially that power play goal that they scored at the beginning there. We just stuck with our game plan, and that was the key piece. Sometimes when you give up a lead, it's really easy to start forcing plays and to start trying to do too much, and our group just did not do that tonight. We just stuck to the game plan, so that was really positive to see.
Was there something maybe in particular after a little bit of a slower start that maybe flipped the game on its head there? You guys really seemed to take control after New York opened there.
Yeah, I just think, their game plan obviously was to throw everything on net in the first 10 minutes of the game, which I don't want to say we weren't expecting, but I think we just didn't realize that literally everything would be put to the blue paint. So once we kind of settled that down a little bit and just remained calm, it was a little bit easier to stick to our game plan with that.
What are your thoughts on where the physicality has been so far, 3 games in?
Yeah, it's really physical. A new brand of hockey that really we have not seen before, with the amount of body contact, body checking that's being allowed. We feel good about our group. I mean, we probably take a bit too many penalties, but they're stick penalties, and so it's a good place, but it's also trying to find towing the line right now of what is allowed and what isn't. Some of the hits are pretty hard, so it's also a part of it that, like, the bigger players in the league it'll be really useful for them. The smaller players in the league really have to learn how to absorb those hits and really play kind of a new style of game. But it's been pretty consistent and pretty great so far.
You do anything in practice to account for this?
Other than just battling against each other, not really. We talk a lot about how to position ourselves to still maintain the puck control, but also to absorb hits. So we talk a lot about footwork and body positioning, but our players are ready for it now. 6 games in if you count Utica. So we're ready for it now.
Kori, I know you're familiar with the men's side of the game as well. I want to ask you maybe a bigger picture question. I know Jane Hefford has said it is full cages and bubbles for sure in the PWHL, but I mean, you see a hit on a young player like Connor Bedard. There's been a lot of conversation about safety overall in the game. Do you think that's something that overall you'd like to see a little bit more protection for players at all levels?
Yeah, I mean, I think safety is the number one thing for players. The men's game has gone so long without full protection of the face, but it's something that I think just as much as the women want to protect their face, I feel like the guys do too. But it's just been something that's been involved in the game so long. You know, and of course safety is important and it's number one. So anything to make the players a little safer is going to be important. And I think that the NHL is doing their job in terms of just the head hits and whatnot. But those are going to happen, especially when there's a discrepancy in size between players. So hopefully they're looking into that.
Any updates on Stacy and Bate?
No, not yet. Just management at this point. It's early in the season, and we just want to make sure that, you know, we're protecting our players and keeping them as safe as possible, so that we have them for the long run.
Are they here?
Stacy is.
And thoughts on the home opener coming up, last team to get there?
I know, right? It feels like we're midway through the season before our home opener started. I think everyone's just excited for it. It's honestly, this travel has been hard. It's been a grind, and you don't get a ton of practice time. You get back and you basically don't even unpack. You just, you know, pack up a new suitcase and start to go again. So that's probably an adjustment for a lot of players, but really happy to be home for the next 3 games. It's going to be something that our players are really wanting, and you know, I'm happy with our group that we could come out with two road wins out of the 3. So I'm really happy about that because it's been a hard go.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.